Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Set 2 card analysis video for green. This week I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm actually going to take the spoilers and I'm going to split them up into 3 videos. So I'm going to do one video for leader cards, one video for battle cards, and then finally a video for extra cards. And I thought this would be more convenient for you guys to watch instead of just like one giant video. I felt like that was kind of crappy, and I really apologize, guys. I wasn't really a very good format for you guys, I don't think. So this week I'm going to try the 3 video format. You guys let me know which one you like better, and let's get to the green leader cards. Okay, so first up we have Cell. And so Cell is a 10,000 frontside leader that says active main once per turn. Place 1 card from your hand under this card. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO that card. And then he awakens at 4 life. Now, his ability is essentially the same ability that Beerus has once he awakens. He can kill a 3-cost battle card. Now, this is very good against a lot of decks, especially like the hand destruction decks, decks that rely on Kaba to awaken. Those type of decks really hate this effect. Now, the upside with Cell's ability is that, the thing that makes it a little bit different than Beerus's ability is that he can get it on turn 1. The first turn of the game, he can do this, which is very important. He doesn't have to ramp and awaken like Beerus does in order to get it off quickly. Now, the downside, though, is this does cost you a card. And while his upside is very high, a lot of the times the card disadvantage isn't worth it. However, luckily, Cell does have an awaken side, and it makes up for this downside of this ability. So let's get to his awaken side. His awaken side is Ultimate Lifeform Cell, and it says you have 2 once per turn activations. You have place 1 card from your hand under this card, draw 2 cards. Which is awesome, super cool. And then we have activate main once per turn, place 2 cards from under this card in the drop area. Choose up to 1 opponent's battle card and KO that card. And so he retains the kill ability, except it becomes better because you can choose any card. And so essentially, if you're using his front side to kill things, on his back side you can use this ability to kill higher costed things, which is extremely efficient. Now, he does lose the ability on the flip side like all the other leaders, and he doesn't draw a card when he attacks. And this might seem like a downside at first, but honestly, his first ability lets him place 1 card in your hand under this card and then draw 2 cards, vastly makes up for this. It's really good because it lets you kind of fix your problems in your hand, and a lot of decks have that, right? A lot of decks want to run like Objection, for example, where Objection's really good at turn 2 and maybe even good on turn 3, but once you get further and further along, it becomes not as appealing to use. And so with this ability, it lets you just pitch that card you wouldn't use and draw 2 cards, draw 2 fresh cards. And so that ability is super, super good. And in my opinion, Cell is a fantastic leader. He is good on his front side. He's really good on his back side. The only downside I have with Cell is that he doesn't really have a way to awaken himself. Now, once we get into the battle cards, we'll see a couple cards that might be able to fix that. And honestly, just running results is probably good enough since he has this ability on the back to kind of siphon out dead cards later in the game. And so in my opinion, Cell is a great hero, one of the best green leaders we've seen, and just fantastic all around. So I'll give Cell a 3-star rating, and I'm actually super excited for this card. I think he's super cool. Okay, so moving on to the next green leader. Now, the next green leader is really bums me out. I'm gonna be honest. We'll say right up front, I'm really bummed out about this card because I actually really like the childhood Gohan, the adolescent Gohan. I think he is super neat in the show. He's really cool. I really like him in the Cell Saga. He's just such a cool character. Now, I'm not a big fan of Gohan once he grows up. I haven't liked his character progression in Super very much, but I do like him a lot in Dragon Ball Z. And so when I saw this card, I was flipping out. I was like, awesome, my boy. And I also like the kind of interaction between him and Gohan in the Cell Saga. I'm sorry, him and Goku in the Cell Saga. It's just really neat, really flavorful, and they showed this on this card. So real quick, let me get into the card. I'm kind of rambling a little bit about nothing here. Okay, so the card on his front side is 10,000 power. When this card attacks, if Son Goku is in your drop area, this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. So he has a traditional Awaken ability at 4, and he has this really cool kind of self-buff if Son Goku is in the drop area, which is, again, very flavorful from his character in Dragon Ball Z. It's actually a pretty powerful ability. The fact that you can get 15,000 on just your front side is really good. It's good against the stall decks because you can keep putting pressure early in the game. It's also good if you're playing an aggro deck because, once again, even if your opponent wants to stall you and leave you on your front side, you can still pressure them, which is an extremely powerful ability against those type of decks. So his front side is fantastic. It's very good. It's again not hard to get Son Goku into the drop area. You can literally just play the 1-drop blue Son Goku, look at the top 7, choose another Goku to replace himself, and then just simply combo with him to get him into the drop area. Now you won't get the 5,000 up power from the combo, like the turn you combo it. You do have to wait until the combo is resolved for it to go to the drop area. That's a little bit of confusion I may have seen, but that's just something to remember. Getting this effect to work is extremely easy and very powerful. Now let's get to the back side, the Awakened side of Gohan, and this is where it kind of, in my opinion, goes downhill. So he awakens into Father, Son, Kamehameha, Goku, and Gohan. Now, again, super cool card, super flavorful. The ability, again, he gets the when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and then he gets the active battle once per turn. Remove all of your cards in the drop area from the game. This card gains plus 5,000 power and triple strike, which is insane. Then at the end of the turn, you lose the game. This confuses me a lot because it is a very powerful ability to give your leader triple strike. Now, that's not to be underestimated. It's extremely powerful. The thing that bothers me is that he only gets 5,000 power from this, and so this ability is very much a all-in, right? Obviously. So, like, you know, if you're struggling, if you think you might lose the next game, or you think you can win, you pop this ability, you try to win the game. That's a cool effect to have on a leader, and I actually really like it. My only problem is I don't see this effect being that powerful because it's easy for your opponent to play around, right? It's easy for them just to kind of stay at 4 life and for as long as possible. It's also pretty easy for them to kind of see coming, right? If they see you in a desperate spot, all they have to do is just beat this attack and they kind of instantly kill you because, you know, you lose the game. And I don't think 5,000 power is enough for the downside of this effect, which is losing the game. I would have liked to seen it maybe do something like, you know, remove all your cards in the drop area from the game, and then this card gains 5,000 power for like every Goku, for every 4 Goku that you remove, you know, from the drop area. Something like that to give it a little bit more flavor and make it better as the game progresses. Because I think if it had the effect to give like plus 10,000 as soon as you flip, it could maybe be a little too strong. But I think right now it might be just a little too weak, and I can't imagine this leader getting played over, I mean, frankly, just the Gohan we have now. And, you know, it's extremely, the other green cards that got spoiled, the other green leaders are just extremely powerful as well. So to me, this is a little underwhelming. Really cool flavor. Just, I don't think I can see this card getting too much play. And so for that reason, I'm going to give Son Gohan, my boy, 1 star. So it stinks. I love that guy. Okay, so finally the last battle card. And spoiler alert, my favorite freaking battle card, I'm sorry, leader card this set that got spoiled. I think this card's insane, and I'm super excited to play around with it. Okay, so it's Android 17. Permanent, reduce the injury cost of Android 17 and Android 18 in your hand by 1. And then, this is the absurd part to me, awaken. When your life is at 6, so when your life is at 6 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. And so this card awakens at 6 life, which is just insane. It's going to be really good against stall decks. It's going to be really good against the hand destruction decks. And it's actually just a really neat ability to awaken that soon. And it's going to allow them to play a multitude of versions of Android 17 and still get, like you could play a Kaba version, for example, and awaken, you know, the second turn easily. You know, you could literally just play Kaba attack first turn. If it survives, second turn attack, or you could just play Kaba turn 2 with a blue open, for example, Sensu being Kaba again, and then you flip. You know, I mean, that's tons of pressure you just put on your opponent. You don't no longer have to attack with Kaba anymore, and you know, you're at 6 life. Your opponent has just had to deal with 2 15,000 double strike attackers, which is neat. You know, I don't think that's the best deck for this, but it's just cool to have a leader that can awaken so fast. It really changes the meta, which is what we want out of these sets. Okay, so let's get to Android 17's backside. Again, not really much to talk about on the front side, except the fact that it does reduce the cost of Androids by 1, which is something I didn't really touch on. This is extremely strong and essentially is a pseudo ramp ability for all the Android cards in the set. Now, one downside to this ability is we haven't seen a good variety of Android cards. So we have, Android 17 or 18 cards. We do have some in the battle cards, and they are good. It's just I don't think we quite have enough to make like an Android 17 or 18 deck currently. Now, I'm sure that they'll be splashed into another color, and maybe red. We'll see them in red. And if that's the case, I can see this ability being, bonkers. But right now, I think it's just good. Like it is a good ability. It's a solid ability, but it's by no means broken or, I don't actually think you can actually just build a deck around this ability quite yet. Okay, so on to the flip side. So once they awaken, it turns into a diabolical duo, Androids 17 and 18. Now, I think this flavor, again, of this card is awesome. I think it's so cool that you play with both Androids. This is something that we see Bandai doing a lot lately. They kind of pair these two together in the new Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters, whatever the game is called. It's a fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom. They did the same thing. They put these two together. Like it's just one character you pick and you get two. And I think it's really cool. I think it's very flavorful. But I would like to see them both get separate leader cards in the future, which I'm sure they will. It's just it's neat that they kind of put them together. And this card does a good job of conveying that as well. So let's get to the card. It says reduce the energy cost of Android 17 and 18 in your hand by 1. So it keeps that powerful effect. Again, not really a way to build solely around it yet, but it is a powerful ability that I'm sure will get even stronger as sets progress as well. And then finally, the kind of bonkers ability to me is that if your life is 4 or less, all of your Android 17 and 18 gain 5,000 power. And then they do gain the draw 1 card attack, which is important because the fact you can awaken quickly and then draw a card off your awakening very soon in the game, very quickly in the game, is relevant, is very important. Now, the one downside of them flipping is they only flip with 10,000 power, which is the first leader that's ever done that. And it may seem like a downside, and it is, but honestly, they have to have some downside, right? They get a flip at 6. They still have powerful abilities when they flip. But it's made up with this second permanent ability. It says, if your life is 4 or less, all of your Androids 17 and 18 gain 5,000 power. Now, this leader is both an Android 17 and 18. And so when you get to 4 or less life, in my opinion, this effect does stack, and it will go from 10,000 to 20,000. And so you're kind of struggling a little bit at the start with just 10,000 power, and then eventually, you will go back up to 20,000 to put the pressure on. Now, I think this is a very smart design decision by Bandai, and the reason why is because it allows stall decks to still kind of stall you in the way that they don't have to worry about you hitting them hard, right? They can still kind of negate your leader's attack from taking damage, but later in the game, if they fail to do that, you will get a big power increase and be able to pressure them. And so it's a really cool way to kind of balance the 6 life awaken, which is an extremely powerful ability. Now, I have seen a lot of arguments about how this leader only gets the effect once and it doesn't get it twice. I've talked with my group. I've talked with some other people that I really trust. Also, just reading the ability, I think it's very clear that it does stack. I think it's intentional. It fits the flavor of the card. But we don't have an official ruling from Bandai, and I expect this to get answered in the Set 2 FAQ. But just to let you guys know, even if it doesn't stack twice, this card is still very good, still very playable. So either way, I can see this card is not going to be affected. It's great. So don't let that kind of make you choose if you like it or not. Whether the stacks or not, still fantastic card. And so I'm going to give the Android 17, 18 leader card 3 stars. Fantastic card, and I'm very excited again to play with this leader. It has me very excited. All right, guys, so that's it for the leader cards for Set 2. Now, in case you missed at the beginning of the video, I am doing a video for the leader cards, then the battle cards, and then finally the extra cards. And I thought this would be a better way to show you guys the spoilers and not kind of overwhelm you with like, a 1 hour long video, which I thought was probably really inconvenient. I really do apologize for that. Now, guys, again, thank you guys so much again for the support this week. I really appreciate it. And I will be back next week. Remember, I do not do videos on Saturday and Sunday. That I kind of take that time to work on the channel and kind of do some networking that way, and also kind of prepare for my videos for the next week. And so I will see you guys Monday. Let me know in the comments section which leader is your favorite, which one you're the most excited about, and if I got any of them wrong. So thanks guys so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys Monday.